water. But it must be understood there has to be a life force for all of these things to work from. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
If you're taking water that is already dead, that's been sitting in a municipal water system, do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Has moved through miles and miles of piping before it gets to you. We assure you that water has no life force. It doesn't matter what you do to it. It doesn't matter whether you create vortexing, magnetism, whether you filter it. It has no life force. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we recommend pure, clean spring water, preferably from a mountainous source. Why? Because if you think of it, think of water bubbling up from the earth, from a mountain, where there has been a great deal of filtration going on. Mountains are usually combined of a number of different factors. For example, there's sand, a variety of different forms of gravel. There may be some limestone. There may be some quartz. There may be a number of different minerals as well. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
The water, as it moves through all of these, a great number of the chemical structures that are present in the environment that would go into the water get removed and attach themselves to the filtration process. Do you see? Through the Earth's filters. And, of course, the water then absorbs some of the good minerals, boron, etc., etc. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have life viable water. It brings up a life force within it from the planet itself that is resonating at a certain vibrational pattern, resonant to the same vibrational pattern that the human body vibrates at. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So you have two units, one called the physical body, one called water, both vibrating at a very similar pattern, so that the water that you're getting then is able to be easily absorbed by the cell structures within yourself. Do you see?
Yes.
And utilized. Where if you're taking dead water that has little or no vibration, or it has been altered or shifted through filtration, do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Reverse osmosis, all of these things. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Then what you're finding is you have a vibratory pattern that is altered. And that though you would ingest the water, and it could be said that it is a liquid, it is now a liquid that is not vibrating at the same vibratory pattern as your physical body, and so you can get a discordance within the body, not a resonance. And the discordance will create certain effects. Long-term disease, short-term, you may get discomfort. Do you see?
Mm-hmm. Does the body see this as actually something that shouldn't be in it, be used by the body? It sees it as a poison almost?
No, the body doesn't see it entirely as a poison. It sees it as something that it can use, but not the same efficiency.
I see.
The best way to describe it, and this is not an accurate way to describe it, but the best way to describe it is think of it this way. If you had a glass, an 8-ounce glass of pure, clean spring water, fresh, your body would utilize approximately 98.2% of that water for its own benefits. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
If you take a same 8-ounce glass of water from a municipal water system that has been processed, and then you run it through your own filtration system in your house because you're trying to get rid of the chlorine, etc., 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 by the time you get that same 8-ounce glass of water to your lips, your body is utilizing approximately 12.2%.
Wow, big difference. Mm-hmm.
The difference is that the body cannot, there isn't any benefit to the rest of it. And if you have dead water, you're utilizing less than 2 to 3%. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So really, there's still some utility, but it doesn't have the same vibratory pattern to the cell structures, and the cells don't resonate to it. Oh, they'll use it, just as a man who's been in the desert without water for 60 years will certainly swallow it up, you see?
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that it'll be of benefit to the body. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to the individual, of course. Each of you have a decision to make. How do you respect your body? How do you treat your body? Do you treat it with the benefit of that which it requires? Or do you simply look at it as something that you have, so therefore you'll give it the minimal amount of attention possible and give it the littlest amount that it needs? It says it needs something wet, so you give it something wet. Do you see?
Mm-hmm. I know some people are in areas where it's hard to get water, so it's hard for them to get water that's less than 2 weeks old. And a lot of water, especially in large volume, is sold in plastic containers now.
We understand.
Yeah.
And we recognize that. And this is why we've said in the past, municipal water systems, try to stay away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can, then, yes, get your bottled water. It's in plastic, we realize. But bottled water in plastic is better than municipal water system. Do you think?
Oh, is that good?
Then you take bottled water that's not been bottled for more than 2 weeks in plastic. It's better than just plain old plastic bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Then you take spring water in plastic, and that's better than plain old bottled water that's been processed and put into plastic. Do you see?
Yeah.
And then you take 2-week-old spring water in plastic bottles, and that's better than just plain old spring water bottled in plastics, but longer than 2 weeks. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Then you take clean, fresh spring water. Do you see?
Yeah.
And even though it may not be from a mountainous source, at least it's spring water. That's better than the bottled water. But then you get spring water from a mountainous source, and that's better than spring water. Do you see the point?
Mm-hmm.
So you do what you can.
Yeah.
The point is not to obsess over it, but understand that if we're saying to you, drink 23 glasses of pure, clean spring water, preferably from a mountainous source, and you're drinking water from a municipal water source, then understand the effects it's causing on your body. And even 23 glasses when we say 23 glasses, we say that number because it's required to the vibratory pattern of your body to bring your cell structures back into a healthy state of balance. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, because your body is not utilizing 98.2% of the water, it's going to utilize a lower percentage. Now you have to drink more. But then you have the quandary. If you drink more, you also get more toxins. Municipal water systems are notoriously toxic. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So what do? Double up on your water, drink 46 glasses, but then then try to filter it out? Do you think?
Yeah.
So you're in a quandary, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
But this is where choice comes in, doesn't it?
Yes.
This is where you as an individual have to take responsibility for yourself. We've given you the perspective of what is of the greatest benefit to your bodies. Now make your own choices. What will you do? That's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the point?
Yeah.
It isn't for us to choose. It is for you to choose. You've asked us, is the water good? We're saying, well, it's polluted. Or this is better. Or this is good, the best. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't get it. Okay, so what do you want to do? What do you want us to do? Go out and manufacture it for you?
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah.
So you do the best you can under the circumstances, always looking to improve to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Yeah. How does humanity, where will it go with this? Because I'm thinking, as we're talking here, I'm thinking about if the water's polluted and it's getting more polluted, the food has chemicals, and Renee and I drink spring water or great well water and eat organic food. But as the earth gets more and more polluted, how do we prevent this pollution from building up in ourselves over the years?
You can't truly eliminate everything, but you can maintain yourself. Good liver cleanses, for example. Always good.
Yeah.
Good toxic cleanses. Good liver cleanses is always good. Using as clean as spring water as possible and using as organic food as possible. You see?
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to get some toxins. Yes, your liver is going to be affected by it, which is why we recommend that once you've got your liver cleaned, then you do a maintenance program on your liver.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Yes.
We also recommend minimal supplementation, don't we?
Yeah.
And then if you're still having difficulties, well then go get yourself some chelation.
Yeah.
There's a number of products in the market. PCARX, for example, is an excellent product. It's a peptide clothration agent that eliminates most of the chemicals from the body. So not only does it eliminate heavy metals, it also eliminates certain chemical structures, DDT, etc., etc., etc. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So most of the chemicals, insecticides, pesticides, and fungicides can be removed from the body using the PCARX, the peptide clothration agent. Do you see?
Yes.
That doesn't mean it's going to remove everything, but it'll get rid of a good chunk of them, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And if it gets rid of a good chunk of them, aren't you better off than what you were if you didn't get rid of it?
Definitely.
And if you're doing a liver cleanse, but it doesn't get rid of everything, aren't you better off than if you had done the liver cleanse?
Oh, yes.
And if you drink water that is filtered, aren't you better off than drinking water from a municipal water system?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Yeah.
So the key here is not to say to yourself, it's an all or nothing circumstance. Either I do it all or I don't do any. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Either I live or I die, but there's no in between.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying to you, take a look. Do what you can. Realizing, of course, that every time you do a little bit more, you improve your chances of staying in a state of balance. Do you see?
Yes.
And you don't put such a toxic load on your body. And eventually, as you move through this particular scenario of maintaining your physical body from the perspective of third-dimensional reality, you'll eventually come to realize how much your mind interferes with that. And when that starts to happen, then you'll let yourself move beyond the issue of control into a perspective of command, and then your body won't react the same way. And when that begins to occur, then we can introduce you to certain concepts on how to extend your physical life force for a longer period of time, which right now we can't because you're still into that perspective of control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was something actually I was going to ask you about too, is about extending our lifetimes for hundreds or thousands of years.
Well, before you get to that,
Yeah.
you got to start cleaning your body up, don't you?
Exactly.
You're barely making it to 75 or 80 these years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Yeah.
So we're saying time to take responsibility for yourself by choosing a different way of life. You can stay the way you are, or you can choose differently. Now, look at it this way. Let's say you start saying, I want spring water. How do you think that the spring water companies came about? Did they come about because all of a sudden they created the demand? Or did they come about because all of a sudden people started realizing the benefit of spring water?
Yeah. People started realizing and demanding spring water.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now what happens when you start demanding spring water that's fresh?
Yeah.
Not just bottled,
Mm-hmm.
fresh.
Yeah.
All the companies that have jumped into the bottled water industry, they take municipal tap water and filter it through and then send it through reverse osmosis. And then they say to you, this is great filtered bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
Well, all those companies are going to go broke, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're not, or they will change, one or the other.
Yeah.
They will have to adapt to the concept that people are no longer willing to take filtered municipal tap water. You see?
Mm-hmm.
But that won't happen until you start saying, I will not take this. Coca-Cola, a great big company in North America and throughout the world, has a great bottled water that is being sold everywhere in its own machines. And everybody's buying it, thinking that this is the most wonderful water there is. It's filtered tap water. That's all it is. It's filtered municipal water. It is nothing else.
Yeah.
But they're making a fortune on it. When you, as individuals, start to say, this is not acceptable to me, then these companies will start producing it. Stop producing it, rephrase.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And your money speaks. Where you put your dime is where people will start to follow you. Do you see?
Yes.
So, realize the power that you have. When you start saying, demanding a different municipal water system, it will come. Do you see?
Mm-hmm. That's by being proactive.
Well, it has to start somewhere, doesn't it?
Yes.
And all we're saying to you is take responsibility for yourselves. Start making your own choices. We're giving you a perspective of what is the benefit to all of existence, what is the benefit to yourselves. Some of you will say, that's great, wonderful, doesn't affect me, not interested. And others will say, oh my God, I'm dying here. We're saying don't take either perspective. Instead, listen to it and say, this is what I choose to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Some of it I can do. Some of it I don't choose to do. Some of it I can't do. Do you see?
Yes.
If you live in the desert and you're 600 miles away from any civilization or any mountain, well, then the chances are, and all you have is a goat to carry your water with, the chances are pretty good you're not going to find pure spring water from a mountainous source, are you?
Mm-hmm. In fact, I think that's some of the worst water I've ever tasted is in very dry or desert areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, do what you can.
Yeah, exactly. Wonders, what's the benefit of vitamin C to the body? You've talked about that quite a bit, and
It's a variety of different benefits. For example, it is that which nurtures the healing life force of the body. It nurtures the cell structures. It nurtures the mitochondria of your cells. It nurtures the replication of the cells. It gives it a certain ability to replicate. Do you see?
mm-hmm.
It also enhances the healing process of the body. It enhances the organic function of the body. It enhances the organs and their functions in the body. Do you see?
Yes.
It's that which will which gives the cells an opportunity to extend their life for a longer period of time before they have to replicate. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And that when they do replicate, they replicate more easily with the proper coding, the proper DNA structure, genetic structure within them. You see? So there's less and less mutation. You'll find that vitamin C will help your every cell vibrate at the proper vibratory pattern for balance, for maintaining itself. And if you increase the vitamin C dosage, we're giving you small dosages, by the way. Even at 18 and 22 and 24 and 26,000 milligrams per day, those are small. We assure you that if we gave you a dosage that would bring your body to the appropriate vibratory pattern, we'd be talking in terms of 100 to 150 to 200,000 milligrams. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So even what we're giving you is a bare minimum to move you to a state of balance.
Mm-hmm. Could a person take that? 200,000 milligrams
Why
a day?
not?
I guess the problem people have is that it causes diarrhea or gastrointestinal problems or...
So?
Yeah.
Why do you think these problems are occurring? Because the vitamin C is helping to heal the body.
Oh, right. So it's flushing out all the toxins and healing the body?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're having problems with it.
Yeah.
It's getting rid of what's not working in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You see the point?
Yeah. Could people do this for, say, a week or so? Very, very high doses, as you suggested?
Yes, but the key is the difficulty of ingesting, as you said. Most vitamin C will, because the body is not, the colon is not used to the stimulation, of course, then you get diarrhea, you get gas, you get die-off, et cetera, in your body. You see?
Yeah.
So be prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to 50 for a week, 50, 55, 60 even 1,000 milligrams per day per week for a week, and you'd find that your die-off would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Does it?
Yeah.
Now, we don't mean you yourself would die off here.
No.
Does it?
Yeah.
But you'd find that you'll find a die-off of the yeast in your body. You'll find a die-off of certain bacteria in your body. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And viruses in your body will begin to die. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll start to feel healthier. But you'll go through a healing crisis, as it's saying. As it's said, it's basically a period of change in which your body will change. You see?
Yeah.
So we would suggest, don't do that just for a week. Do it for longer. Does it?
Yes. And then would you maintain a dose like that, or could you cut back as the body got healthier?
Well, you could maintain it, and you could then increase it in order to bring the body to an even greater state of health, couldn't you? And then have a different die-off. You see?
That'd be interesting, actually.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure would be.
So the key here is understand that it's many individuals, specifically doctors and scientists, will tell you that you're nuts. You're crazy if you even try this. You're crazy to listen to us. Do you see?
Yeah.
Well, remember that there's a Dr. Pauling, Linus Pauling, who used to use 50 to 60 when he was sick. You see? 25 on an average day, 50 to 60 when he was sick. Did pretty good. Lived a good life.
Yes.
But even he was understated. If he had done 200 to 300,000, then he would have had a longer life. You see?
Yeah. So we could do this in conjunction with liver cleanse.
Yes. Your vitamin C will also bring elasticity to your arterial and venous structure. It'll make your skin look healthier. You'll find yourself looking younger. There'll be more elasticity, more collagen in your body. Do you see? It's a great deal of things that it'll do.
I had asked this once before, wonders a long time ago, about hair color. What would bring hair color back?
From what?
From from white. You know how people age and then their hair goes from whatever color it was,
Yes.
brown or red, and turns white.
And why do you think that the hair loses its color?
I think it's
Think of a leaf on a tree. And as you go through fall and winter, why does the leaf lose its color?
as you go through fall and winter because it's dying. It's drying up and...
Is it? Or is it that what happens is the tree begins to hibernate and the sap that is running into the tree begins to retreat from the leaves? As that happens, then the leaves change color. There's less life force in the leaf.
Oh.
Well, think of it that way, and what have you got? You've got less life force in your hair. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
To get your life force back into the follicles of the hair, it requires a great big shift within the body, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What would bring such a large shift in your body?
Nutrition.
Yes.
I think vitamin C that we were just talking about.
Well, there's a thought.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Cleansing the body.
Ingesting vitamin C in large megadoses, cleansing your body, and then from there, certain proteins. Does it?
Yes.
Of course, you could always go the easy way and just go to a hairdresser.
Yeah. But then you get chemicals on your head from the...
Unless you use natural henna.
Yeah, that's true.
Does it?
That's interesting. So, certain proteins, that's what I was trying to think of. Do you mean like organic vegetable, animal?
No, there's certain proteins that are in the legumes family that would help you. Does it?
Okay. It's just the type of protein
Yes.
that would help. Okay. I had a
And of
question.
course, increased blood flow to the hair follicle, which you can't get if your circulatory system is clogged up, can you?
Exactly.
Vitamin C comes in then, doesn't it?
Yep. So actually, the healthier you become, then everything turns more or less elasticity in the skin, as you said, and healthier.
Again, there's a process of reversal that must take place. And to create the process of reversal, make no mistake, it requires large amounts of supplementation.
Okay.
Does it?
When there's a lot of people are suffering from MS nowadays too, what causes it and what can cure it?
MS.
Multiple sclerosis?
You didn't mean mother syndrome or anything like that.
No, they're suffering from that too, I guess. But
Multiple sclerosis is nothing more than the accumulation of great variety of toxins each interacting with the other, that has eventually, as a result of this interaction, forced cell structures to harm themselves, to not replicate themselves, and it's taken away from the myelin sheath of the cell itself. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
The resultant is you're finding yourself with cells being stripped of their outer coating, nerve cells being stripped of their outer coating, and the next thing you know, what you have is, of course, is stimulation by other toxins and deterioration then of nerves completely. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And as we said to you in the previous show to this one, you're walking around in a chemical soup.
Yes.
Do you expect anything different?
No.
You see?
Yeah.
In order to reverse this, it requires a cleansing, good supplementation, and good food. The reason we're suggesting good organic food is, as you've said quite rightly so, there's so much pollution in the air, so much pollution in the water. Even the organic food has some amounts of pollution, but it is much more minimized. It is not as intensified as what you have in the normal agricultural state. However, and this is a big caution we're giving you here, is there is such a push right now to control the organic food movement by the large corporations that you're going to find that once they do, then the word organic is going to mean nothing. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll still be using chemicals, just different chemicals. Do you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll call that organic chemicals.
Yeah.
So the key here is if the world really wants the organic movement to remain as it is, they must be willing to set the boundaries that defines organic and not allow large multinational corporations to get involved in the food production. True organic requires a love of the earth. Large corporations that are involved in organic productions right now, for example, you're getting food from California, food from BC, food from Chile, food from other countries that you call organic. But dear friend, you're not really called organic. They're being called organic. They are certified organic. In other words, they were grown under those organic principles, but then they've forgotten the other organic principle, which is that they don't travel too far.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
So they're cultivated earlier, they travel too far, and then from there they're exposed to certain other toxins in order to get them to ripen. So what's organic about all of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see the point?
Yeah.
So if you really want to stick with organic, and the organic movement that is really moving around the world must begin to confine itself back to the love of the earth, the love of the food. You see?
Mm-hmm.
The love of growing it. A farmer that loves farming doesn't just do it for the multinational corporation with a great big tractor because that's what he has to do. A farmer that loves farming will grow organic food for themselves much easier. You don't need a farmer. All you need is a very, very small plot of land for each family. A plot of land no more than 5 feet by 5 feet will grow enough food for a family of 4 for virtually all year long. You see?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need. Imagine now if you had 10 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah. That's encouraging.
You see?
Yeah.
And so what's required here is a shift within society to go back to the organic principles of love, growth without any form of chemicals, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Small plots of land farmed by the individual that's going to grow their own food. And you can do that with a small plot of land in your backyard. You can do it with flower pots that hang off your window or hang out of the windowsill of your apartment building or off your balcony. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't require a great deal of effort. You see?
Yes.
Just imagine, you don't need a lot to eat. This is, if you listen to the food and its effects on your body, you'll realize that it's not a quantity that is required, it's a quality.
Yes.
And if you farm or grow your own food with a quality environment of this nature, you're going to find yourself feeding yourself much more easily. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, getting healthier.
Yes. Oh, I have so many questions, wonders, but unfortunately we've run out of time.
Well, then it's for you to choose to continue this, isn't it?
I'm going to, yeah. I have lots of questions about this. So,
Good. Then to you all, the appreciation of all.
the appreciation of all wonders. May we move to end this session?
Please.
Please perform all healings that are chosen.
Done.
Please relax the body to its natural state now.
And to you all, the appreciation of all.
The appreciation of all wonders. I would like Renee to awake feeling completely loved now.
Came out of that session, and it was kind of interesting because I looked up and I saw this apartment building, and every balcony in the apartment building had a planter pot, where they were lined up along the row of the balcony, and they were growing. You could see greens and tomatoes and carrots and celery, and everybody was kind of doing. And one person in one balcony was yelling up to the other person in the other balcony, "Hey, have you got any tomatoes? I've got celery over here. I've got carrots over here." And it was like a little commune, It's kind of funny. And that's it. That's what I got.
Thank you.
Well, hon, how was it?
It was great. Very interesting. So I have lots of questions to continue on with.